Hello and welcome to episode 321 of the video show. This is a show where I answer your questions about video, talk about video for business in general, and answer loads of different people's questions. So it can be about a particular piece of equipment. It can be about how to use video and how to get more views, that kind of stuff. It really could be any sort of question about video that you've got for business. So whether you're using video already, or if you haven't started yet, or if you just started, this is the show to watch. So each week we go live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So a broad range of different platforms. So feel free to subscribe across those. And if you've got any questions for future episodes of the show throughout this episode, post it in the comments below. If you've got any questions as the show goes on, feel free to post them as well. And as always, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on a future episode. Cool. So now that that's out of the way, what are we talking about today, I hear you ask? So today we're going to be talking about pattern interrupts. So firstly, let's look at what a pattern interrupt is. And what I did, I went onto a website called Google, and I just Googled what is a pattern interrupt. So this is what I found. A pattern interrupt is a technique to change a particular thought, behavior, or situation. Behavioral psychology and neuro-linguistic programming, so NLP, uses this technique to interrupt and change the thought patterns and behaviors. So really, it's a way of getting people to stop and watch your content. So, but how is this sort of used in like regular everyday life? So everyone knows who Darren Brown is. He uses it all the time. This is a video from Tricks of the Mind, was like 2005, I think, maybe even before that. But we're going to cut over to that video now to show you how he uses NLP to interrupt people's patterns. And then we're going to come back.
Do you know which way the actual pleasure beach is, the fun fair?
The pleasure beach? I'm not really from round here. I think if you're for the main one, if you follow down, just go down this road here. Yeah. Keep going, and it's on your left-hand side.
So it is down there.
Yeah.
Because that's the tower, isn't it? But it's you don't mind me asking, do you?
No.
No, you're happy to give that to me. Okay, so it's down there. Yeah. Right. All right. Sorry about that. Cheers. Thanks ever so much. Yeah. Right. So it's just down that way. Can you just grab that? Just for a second. Can I just grab your watch and then you've got a phone on you as well. That'd be terrific. I'll just grab your. Thanks. I'll take that off. Lovely. Cheers. I'll just grab your phone as well and your house keys. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so it's just literally just down there. Yeah. Lovely. I'll grab that. So it's straight down there and...
Keep going on your left-hand side as you go further down the road. There.
All right, lovely. Thanks ever so much. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Thank you. You're fine. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Sorry.
It's difficult to explain because somehow it felt natural to give them to him.
Oh, I'm sorry,
until I got a few yards down the road, and then I started to think, what's happening here?
Just hold that a second. Cheers. Right, I'll just grab the others back off you so I can keep them. Cheers. Thanks ever so much. Thank you. Cheers. I think you're heading that way, weren't you? Thanks ever so much. Cheers.
There we go. That's how Darren Brown does it. Fascinating stuff to watch that. So like his techniques where he sort of confounds the person, confuses them, and then walks away with their watch and their wallet and their possessions. Well, we don't want you to do that, but what we want you to do is to interrupt people's patterns enough so that when they're like scrolling through LinkedIn or they're scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through YouTube, we want them to stop and click on your content. So looking at how we do that, I want you to take you over to Prerecorded Corner, so the pre-recorded bit of this live video, and discuss how you can do that with your own videos and how you can do that with your own content. So bearing that in mind, let's have a look. Hello and welcome to Pre-Recorded Corner, the part of the show where I discuss in depth something that we're talking about on the live show that I'm probably going to forget because it's live and you forget stuff when it's live. So in this part of the video, I want to talk about examples of pattern interrupts in videos that I've seen, things that I think work quite well and things that I think don't work so well in terms of pattern interrupts. So this whole thing came about because I made a video about a year ago about pattern interrupts. And the start of that video was me with a giant head. And the way it worked was people were scrolling through on LinkedIn, the video automatically starts playing, and instead of like me with my normal pretty big head, I had a giant head. And this works really well because people were scrolling through and then suddenly they see, oh, what's that guy doing with a giant head? So they stop and watch it. It's really weird how I sort of thought that would work and it ended up working pretty well. I was quite happy with it, and it is my most watched YouTube video as well. So obviously it has worked. So doing something like that where the video automatically starts playing and it grabs people's attention or it stops them, their automatic thought process, and makes them stop and think, whoa, what the hell's that? That works really well. Another way of doing that is by having a line of dialogue. So there's a video for a product called the Squatty Potty where it starts off saying,
"This is where your ice cream comes from. The creamy poop of a mystic unicorn."
Automatically, it's so odd and bizarre and weird, it stops you and makes you start thinking, well, I've got to stop and watch this. Having something like that, a line of dialogue or something visual that makes you stop and watch the video is really, really powerful. But after that, you've got to make them keep watching so that they watch all of your video or most of your video. So keep an eye on the watch time and where people are watching your videos, and then you'll see that, yes, your pattern interrupters works, but then your content is a good quality as well. Another way of getting people to stop and watch your content is by having a really good quality thumbnail, something that's going to make people stop and click on it. So on YouTube, people are scrolling through content, they see a lot of thumbnails. Some sort of like videos do automatically start playing, but you do see the thumbnail on there. And you see a lot of thumbnails like this where they've got shocked faces and big bold lettering. Arrows work really well as well. So think about what you can do in terms of your thumbnail. Don't just go with the thumbnail you get given. Make something that's a bit visual, make something that's going to grab people's attention, and then play around with it as well. And then as things start working, you'll see which videos get more views. Start using those elements in your videos as well. Thirdly, think about the title of your video. So this is something that annoys me a little bit, where I see lots of stuff on YouTube where it's kind of like clickbaity titles, where it says something to make you click on it, you think, oh yeah, that's going to be interesting, and then it kind of like flips it around a little bit. So it's kind of a bit about what you thought it was going to be about, but it flips it so it's like it's not really about that at all. But all that title is something to get you to watch it. Or the content's just a bit bland and boring, but the title has made you click and watch it. I've been caught out by this a few times by the same sort of creators. So just be aware that if you feel like you're tricking people into watching your content, they may soon lose patience with you a little bit in terms of they'll stop watching your content. I've stopped watching certain people on YouTube because I've been caught out too many times by their clickbaity titles, and it just gets annoying. You feel like you're a fool, you feel like you've been tricked into it, and you don't, like, nobody really likes that. So by all means, make your title interesting and get people's attention, but then I think you also have to deliver on the content as well. So that's it for Pre-Recorded Corner. Let's go back over to me in the live broadcast. Bye. So back from Pre-Recorded Corner, let me know what examples you've seen in terms of pattern interrupts in video. So what makes you stop and watch a video? So when you're scrolling through, which everyone does, everyone scrolls through loads and loads of content every day, what makes you stop and click on something? A lot of the time for me, it's not really like conscious, like what makes me stop and click on something. It's something that really sort of, it just grabs my attention quite quickly. So usually it's a thumbnail or maybe like the title of the video, but then the content of the video has got to be really interesting as well. Because like if I see it's going to go on for too long, I'll just click off. Or if I see that it's just sort of, it hasn't grabbed my attention straight away, I'll just go on to something else. Also, I think a really good point on Pre-Recorded Corner that with that aspect of the what was it called? Sorry, going over to this. The clickbait, like a clickbaity title. if you go over to that and then it's not quite what you thought it was, you kind of feel like you're tricked. You kind of feel like a little bit let down by that person. And there's people that I've subscribed to on YouTube that I no longer watch their videos because I've sort of been caught out too many times with those clickbaity titles. So you've really got to be careful with that in terms of being like clickbaity in terms of those videos. So by all means, interrupt people's patterns and get them to watch your content, but then also deliver on what you're doing as well. So let me know what kind of things you've seen that have worked for you. If you've done anything in terms of pattern interrupts, post them in the comments below as well. Thank you again for watching this episode of the video. So don't forget to subscribe. If you've got any questions after watching the show, feel free to put them in the comments or connect with me on LinkedIn. And I will see you next time for the last episode of the video show of 2020, where we'll be going behind the scenes on one of the shows I produced called The Mob Show. We'll be going behind the scenes on the Christmas special on that, which is next Friday on the 18th. So that will be interesting as well. Cool. That's it for episode 321. I'll see you next time for the last one in 2020, 322. Bye.